There we go. Welcome to this nature companionship experience. It is March 16, a transitional time where one season transitions to another. In the Northern Hemisphere, we go from winter to spring. In just a few days, we'll experience the point when the sun sits directly over the Earth's equator as it heads northward. We can consider this transitional moment as our theme for this nature companionship experience. The northern and southern hemispheres share the sun's rays equally at the equinox, and day and night are about the same length. Spring is about new beginnings and transformations. It's a season of starting fresh, starting anew with its warmer weather, longer days, and blooming flowers. It's a time to reawaken and emerge from our literal or metaphoric slumber. In the following moments, you'll be invited to slow down and allow yourself to wonder and be fascinated by the natural environment, the more than human world. Though I'll be accompanying you through this nature companionship experience, the natural environment is ultimately the guide. I invite you to be curious and engage with the more than human world and yourself as I guide you through a series of steps and invitations or contemplations to bring awareness, wonderment, joy, and fascination. Feel free to pivot if at any point in the practice you're wanting or needing to shift the focus or participate differently. This time is for you and perhaps the natural world too. You can lean into your intuition and trust your heart, mind, and body. This time will last about an hour. Feel free to not need to keep track of time. I'll be keeping track of time. And more than anything, this is time that you have carved out for yourself. And as such, we invite you to go gently and welcome surprise. Attunement. I invite you to take a moment to consider all the tenders of the land who have come before. In this cohort, we're located in several places around the globe. I'm in Chicago, so I'm speaking from here. We're located on the traditional unceded homelands of the Council of the Three Fires, the Ojibwe, Odawa, and Potawatomi nations. Many other tribes, such as the Miami, Ho-Chunk, Menominee, and Sac and Fox, also called this area home. The region has long been a center for Indigenous people to gather, trade, and maintain kinship ties. Today, one of the largest urban Indigenous communities resides in Chicago. Members of this community continue to contribute to the life of this city and to celebrate their heritage, practice traditions, and care for the land and waterways. Tokopa Turner writes, "To belong to a place is to be embedded in it. Its struggles are your contentions. Its harvests your wealth. Its needs your purpose. Your place's history is the story of your own becoming." Like the seasons change, the earth changes. We change. Our thoughts, feelings, bodies, cells are all impermanent. We shift and move and are in motion. We are change. Considering past changes, can you imagine what the land was like even 500 years ago? What insects, animals, and plants lived here? What about 5,000 years ago? Allow yourself to imagine the world as it used to be, with rich, biodiverse landscapes where large animals or megafauna were abundant, like woolly mammoths, cave bears, saber-toothed cats, giant beavers, sloths, lions, and camels. In the present, we are in an age that geologists call the Anthropocene. For the first time in history, humans and human activity have been the dominant influence on climate and the environment. In my lifetime, I've witnessed changes in the environment, in water, in animals and insects, and in the atmosphere. How do our choices today impact future generations? Wondering about the future. What do you imagine the landscape to look like in 500 or 5,000 years? What do you want it to be like? Though we're having our individual experiences, we are participating in community. And so we include your stories and lives as part of our nature companionship experience. Practices like this can transform our awareness and understanding of the natural cycles of the seasons and the earth. We can attune to whatever is present around us, whether they're trees, birds, insects, squirrels, or other creatures of the land, water, and air. Is there someone in your life that has made it so that you can be here today? There's a Queto Apache prayer. Looking behind, I'm filled with gratitude. Looking forward, I'm filled with vision. Looking upward, I'm filled with strength. Looking within, I discover peace. Take a few breaths in gratitude for that person or these people. Attunement with the beings who are present. We'll begin to attune now to the beings where we are by singling out our five senses. If you've been walking, Begin to slow down and find a place where you can spend a few moments with eyes closed. You'll have eyes closed for the next several moments, so you may want to sit or lean against a tree. Allow yourself to tune into the sounds around you. What do you hear? What sounds are near? Which ones are far? What are human-made sounds? What are natural sounds? What do you hear? What do you hear that is near? Far, human-made, natural. Now moving into smell. What do you smell? You can increase the length of your breathing as you consider all the smells. What do you smell? What do you feel? With eyes still closed, you can touch the earth, the tree. What does the quality of air feel like on your exposed skin? What do you taste? Do you have any lingering tea or coffee or food that you can still taste? You may want to stick your tongue out to taste the air, the sunshine, the rain. Now, when you're ready, slowly open your eyes as if for the first time. Take in all that you see. What are you noticing? We'll pause here for a minute in quiet reflection. What are you noticing about your senses? What's around you externally as well as internally? Attention to the present. We're going to focus more on our sense of sound and motion. Imagine that each sound and motion are purposeful. All sounds belong here, including yours. Claim the belonging. I invite you to slowly and purposefully consider what purpose each sound and motion that you encounter is. What purpose each sound and motion that you encounter is. You'll spend about 10 minutes with this contemplation. Nature companionship experiences are as much an external experience as an internal one. What are you noticing in the outer landscape? What are you noticing in your inner landscape? We'll spend a couple minutes here in quiet reflection. We're going to move to an invitation about discerning the winds of change. There are two parts, and I'll guide you through them both. In the first part, you'll slowly walk or stand still or sit and observe what's happening. For example, you'll hear bird song, and then the bird song stops. You'll label in your mind the sensory impressions as they arise. Note touching for experiences of breath, foot discomfort, backache, or physical sensations. Note hearing for birdsong and other sounds that come and go. Note smelling for flowering blossom fragrance. Seeing for what you observe with the eyes. When you notice thoughts, label it thinking. For a couple minutes, we'll observe what is happening. What is happening? Let's spend a few moments here labeling our sensory impressions. We started with observing what's happening, and now we're labeling our sensory impressions. What are you noticing? Do you notice how rapidly your experience changes? Does the inevitable change wake you up to the preciousness of this moment? We'll spend a couple moments in quiet reflection about what you're noticing. Sitting with what and who are present. We're going to spend the next 10 minutes doing nothing but sitting or slowly walking, with eyes open and with a soft fascination, noticing with all the senses or selecting one and resting. Sitting with what and who are present. We're going to transition here into a bit of a response, responding to the self and inner teacher and the needs of the natural world. So I'm going to invite you to about 1 minute share if you want. What is something that brought you joy or wonderment or fascinated you during this nature companionship experience? What is something that brought you joy or wonderment or fascinated you during this outdoor companionship experience? And at this point, if you want to show where you are, you can. You do not have to. And but a minute or so per person. Anything you want to share as you debrief and process this experience.